What I did learn is that the two variables that have the highest correlation, so there's causation and correlation. It's hard to prove causation in research because we just don't live in a vacuum. Humans are messy. We're organic little creatures, all that kind of stuff. But you can look at research and go, okay, there's a high correlation between these two variables.
Okay.
Right? So we're not saying it's causing something, but we're saying, okay, this is clear. There's a correlation here.
What are those?
More than a coincidence.
More than a coincidence.
Yes.
Enough to establish, okay, there's a pattern.
Yeah.
And the research, the kind of in the metadata overview is that the age of the child can have an impact on the child's future outcomes. Future outcomes meaning are they going to be more inclined towards depression and anxiety as adults? Are they going to be more inclined to things like substance abuse or, difficult relationship dynamics, whether they choose to marry or not marry?
So is it showing that?
So what are the ages?
So they
How does that
so
correlate with the actual ages?
specifically younger actually had a higher correlation with negative outcomes.
Really?
Because I think, and the rationale is that when they're nonverbal, you're more likely to internalize things. There's a quick phrase where facts flounder, fantasies flourish.
Okay.
With kids, when people who work with kids. So, encouraging people to be more like, hey, let's talk about it rather than not talk about it.
Oh,
right?
so when kids are small, the parents think I don't need to talk about
They're
it with them.
nonverbal.
They don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So they're more I think the child is more likely to internalize whatever messages or fantasies they create, stories they create about why things happened. And I think that the reason why is that, it happened when they're young and now they're used to it. So I don't talk to my kid about it. It's just our norm. So I think the protective factor and the learning from that is that even when the separation happened when the child was young, really young and pre-verbal, and it didn't seem to impact them as much, still talk to your kids.
Yeah.
Get in there, give them the facts.
It's not just a one-off conversation that you can go, right, done that
Done.
conversation.
Check.
Yeah.
So you kind of drew the line in the sand more about the nonverbal, because I was kind of thinking of when I got divorced with my son, I think he was around 5, 6. So he was talking, and we've had ongoing conversations still about it, which I thought was good. But are you saying that there's nothing wrong with, I guess, deciding to separate when they are younger, but make sure that you're still communicating throughout that lifetime with
exactly.
the kid?
Yeah. And then that leads me to another point. There's talking to your kids about divorce, blah, 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 blah. There's the telling your kids, if they're 5, 6, 7, those are ages when even 4, I would say, you're going to tell them, mommy and daddy are going to make a decision that's going to affect our family. We're going to live in 2 houses now instead of 1. There's the telling story, and we can get into kind of some how-tos and tips around that. But then the ongoing maintenance is checking in with your kids every once in a while, but not from a direct and maybe more of an indirect approach. And I call that noticing skills. I noticed that our first day back together after you've been at, mom's house or dad's house, it takes a while for us to kind of readjust or noticing I noticed something. I noticed that we're a little grumpy on this day, but not on this day. And just leaving things really open-ended instead of asking directly.
Yeah.
What's it like for you when you come back and forth between our house? You know what I mean? It's I don't know. But when you notice a little thing that just creates oh yeah, I noticed that too.